Welcome to another monitor review. And I know what you're thinking, if you've seen anything on my page already or any social stuff, you think, I've already done a review of these. I've already done a review. Why not put your arm up, get yourself a coffee, settle in. Now I want to do another one. I don't think you understand about these, right? So the Key 3, just the top. So I did sort of semi-review the BXT, semi-overview it, whatever. Now this is a review. It's a review of this monitor, right? I've got the control as well. The Key control looks like this. It's got some inputs, got some outputs. Spins around, right? It's got loads of cool stuff on it, right? That's great, that's all good. What does this monitor do and how does it help me mixing? That's what you want to know. That's what I wanted to know and I couldn't find out. So this is why I think I wanted to do another one. Just want to talk about it again. So it's got all this kind of DSP stuff going on where the directivity, I mean, there's loads of better stuff online. Go and look at it, ignore this video entirely, come back, once you've learned it all about it, come back, check it out. It's got directivity stuff with the, if you can see them there, they've got little woofers at the side. And basically what they're doing is just, they're getting the walls, they're going, get rid of that crap, we don't want that phase coming back and hitting you and going rubbish, we don't want that smearing the sound of the directivity of the cones hitting your face and stuff. So we want to hear what we're hearing from the monitors and nothing else. We don't want to hear any resonance from the cabinet. We don't want to hear any sort of like weird bass swells and stuff like that. What I'm saying, I did a mix on these. I did 10, 11, maybe 12 mixes of the same song on loads of different monitors, right? And the mix that came out the best was this one. And you might think, oh, there must be a bias there. You know the song well enough by now. I can't have a bias. Reason being, I start a mix from scratch every time. You might think, wow, that's really silly. Why would you do that? Because it costs a lot of money. You have to work out what actually sounds good for your room. And obviously they're expensive monitors. I mean, now I think they're about 14.5 grand, maybe 13 grand without the Key control as well. And the reason I think they're incredible is because what I was able to deliver as a final mix. I think the mix was so clear, so precise, so natural. And I felt like the first thing I did when I picked up this monitor, the first thing, and then I've never done this on any other monitor, first thing I did was start cutting out, like using the FabFilter, like dynamic EQs, to start cutting out resonant stuff, which was just really masking other frequencies. And I always hear like top end people talking about like, oh, just cut this ring in here, just cut this there, whatever. And I was like, yeah, that's all good and everything, but I feel like I couldn't hear some of those bits in previous things. And you might think, well, I've got these, and then you think, all right, okay, I can hear resonant frequencies and get rid of things. And honestly, wasn't boosting much. I wasn't going through, and I wasn't going, oh, I'm gonna boost this frequency here. I'm gonna just like really sweep the top end, and then you end up with this thing because you've just kind of cleaned up. You've gone in and you just cleaned up. You've literally gone in, and you've taken the Premiership. You've cleaned up. Got rid of all the flubby stuff, all the chunky little bits that are getting to the point where I'm going like, that verse bass needs to be EQ'd slightly different to that chorus bass. And just things like that, different decisions which make me feel like I'm a better mixing engineer and not for lack of pretense because I'm thinking, oh, well, I've heard someone talk about this. He just told me straight away. That's why I think they're incredible. So the final result is just what I wanted to explain to you. I just ended up with a more even mix, a clearer mix. The stereo width was better. I was using less samples on drums. I was attenuating sibilances better on vocals, guitars. I was soothing, but then dialing back. I was like, that's too much. I can allow that top end to come through and stuff like that. So I really wanted to just explain how I've done that with thanks to these monitors. And so what I was using in the past, loads of stuff. So where I think they are at fault, if there's a fault of them, and there might be, is that they are so analytical in a way, in a good way, but also in a weird way that means that even though they're angled at hi-fi people, just the tops, forget about the BXT, forget about all the full stack and all that kind of stuff, these have got plenty range from the top to the bottom, and it felt like what I was hearing was way more kind of precise and the opposite of the Dutch and Dutch. The Dutch being really sort of broadband and kind of like broad sweeping and kind of like detailed, but like really nice. You could just turn them up and they would never get harsh. Whereas with these, I felt like it was a little bit harder to listen to some stuff. Everything's detailed, everything's got that layer, everything's got its place. But if one thing sounds bad in your mix, literally one thing, In terms of hi-fi world, sitting back, laying down on a sofa and drinking a nice cold brew or coffee or whatever, and listening to these, I feel like things would point out and go, and just little bits that are any problems, and there's going to be problems in mixes that you know very well and songs that you want to hear. So in terms of listenability, I don't think they're as good as the Dutch and Dutch. In terms of mixing and what they offer to my room and my ear, they excelled beyond all reason, because I was able to hear those little bits and correct them, and then the finished mix come. Hi, that's Smudge the cat. Would you like to come and say hello to everybody? You okay? He's all right. He's going to come and say hello to everybody. You okay? I think he's ready for some biscuits. Okay? How's it going? Smudgy? Smudgy? Okay? This one? Whoa, top 5. So this is Smudgy there. Hope you've enjoyed the mix today, and go and get yourself a pair of these. Fill your boots.